Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever found yourself asking this question, why does he return after walking away? Perhaps it feels confusing, almost as though life has written a plot twist you didn't expect. Have you ever experienced the intense emotions of being rejected, only to have that same person return to your life later, seemingly out of nowhere? It can leave you confused and questioning the reasons behind their sudden reappearance. Is it a sign that they miss you, or is there something deeper at play? The truth is that what happens in our relationships, especially when it comes to rejection and return, often has less to do with the other person and more to do with our own internal state. The way you see yourself and how you feel about your worth shapes the way others perceive and respond to you. When someone rejects you, it may feel personal, but in reality, it is a reflection of your own beliefs about love and connection. When you experience rejection, it's easy to internalize it as a reflection of your inadequacy or a sign that you are not enough. However, rejection is often a signal that you are not fully aligned with the energy of self-love and self-worth. If deep down you hold a belief that you are undeserving of love or that love must be earned, you will attract situations and relationships that reinforce that belief. Rejection, in this case, is simply the external manifestation of an inner belief system that needs to be healed. But what happens when you begin to shift your inner state? What happens when you no longer see yourself as less than or unworthy of love? The moment you elevate your self-worth, something profound happens. You begin to see yourself as deserving of the best, not because you've earned it through external validation, but because you recognize your own inherent value. This shift in how you view yourself radiates outward and impacts every area of your life, including the way others treat you. When you begin to heal inner wounds and stand tall in the truth of your own worth, you stop seeking external approval. You no longer feel the need to prove your worthiness. Instead, you simply exist as someone who is whole and complete, regardless of anyone's actions. As a result, you no longer chase love or seek validation from those who have rejected you. You become magnetic not because you are trying to get something from others, but because you are already full of self-love and acceptance. This shift in energy creates a powerful pull. The person who once rejected you may not even fully understand why, but they will feel an undeniable draw toward you. It's not that they have changed, but rather that you have transformed. Your newfound confidence and sense of self-worth make you irresistible to others, including those who once walked away. The key here is that you are no longer chasing someone who doesn't recognize your value. Instead, you are standing in your power, fully aware of the love and worth you bring to the table. This shift in energy is what leads to the return of the very people who once rejected you. When you are aligned with your true self, others pick up on that energy. They recognize the change, even if they don't consciously understand it. They may find themselves coming back into your life not because you've begged them or lowered your standards, but because you have become the person they can now see themselves with. They are drawn to the version of you that is whole, confident, and unapologetically yourself. It's important to understand that when someone returns after rejecting you, it is not about them changing or realizing they made a mistake. It's about you stepping into a space of empowerment where you no longer need them to complete you. You no longer seek their approval, but instead you invite them into your life from a place of strength and self-assurance. When you no longer see yourself as someone who needs validation from others, you open up a space where real, authentic love can flow. This is when the person who rejected you before may feel compelled to come back, not because they feel sorry or guilty, but because they are drawn to the new energy you are exuding. The power to create the relationships you desire is within you. It is not about waiting for someone to change or hoping that they will come back into your life. It is about becoming the person who can attract the love, respect, and attention you deserve. When you stop focusing on the actions of others and instead turn inward to heal and grow, you will begin to see changes in your external world. Rejection will no longer feel like a personal attack, but rather a necessary step in your journey towards self-love and healing. The people who come back into your life will do so not because they are filling a void within you, but because they are being drawn to the highest version of yourself. By shifting your energy and transforming the way you see yourself, you create a reality where love flows freely and effortlessly. When someone returns after rejecting you, it is not a sign of weakness or dependency on their validation. It is a sign that you have grown, evolved, and become the person you always deserved to be. Your energy is now one of self-love and confidence, and this energy naturally attracts those who are aligned with that vibration. The real question is not why they come back, but whether you are now in a position to welcome them with open arms or whether you have outgrown the need for their presence altogether. Have you ever wondered why someone who once rejected you seems to come back into your life when you least expect it? It feels almost like an unpredictable twist in the narrative of your love life. This experience is not just a coincidence, it's deeply tied to the inner transformation you've undergone. The truth is, what happens externally in your relationships is an accurate reflection of what you believe and feel internally. The external world mirrors the state of your mind and beliefs. The way others treat you, the energy they bring into your life, and the dynamics of your relationships all stem from the inner assumptions you hold about yourself and your worth. If you've ever felt rejected or abandoned, it's crucial to realize that rejection often arises from your own subconscious assumptions. If you believe you're not worthy of love or that people will leave you, those assumptions are reflected back at you in the actions of others. But when you change your internal narrative, when you shift the story you tell yourself, you begin to see a different reality unfold. The power of your assumptions is undeniable. Imagine if you start assuming that you are worthy of love, that you deserve the best, and that people around you will honor and cherish you. This subtle shift in perception will naturally change how people behave around you. The energy you project will be one of confidence and self-assurance, not of neediness or desperation. And this shift in energy will draw people back into your life. They may not even be fully aware of why they are drawn to you, but they feel the magnetic pull of your changed vibration. You might find that the rejection you once experienced was simply a reflection of your own inner fears and doubts. If you were afraid of being abandoned, that fear would have created a gap in your energy, which made it easier for the relationship to break. However, when you step into a higher state of self-worth and love, you naturally begin to attract those who align with your new energy. You stop chasing love and instead become a magnet for it. And in this shift, others, especially those who once rejected you, find themselves drawn back into your life. Energy doesn't lie. It's not just about what you say or do, but about the frequency you operate on. If you are constantly vibrating at a frequency of fear, longing, or desperation, others will pick up on that. People can sense when you are emotionally unavailable or when you are clinging too tightly to something that isn't meant for you. This emotional neediness can push people away, but when you shift that energy into confidence and self-love, the whole dynamic changes. The energy of self-assurance and inner peace is magnetic. It pulls people toward you. They begin to realize that something about you has changed, and they may find themselves coming back into your life not because you've changed them, but because you've changed the energy you project. When he comes back, it's not because of any external action you've taken to win him over, it's because of the transformation you've undergone. The journey of self-healing and growth you've embarked on has shifted the dynamic of the relationship. It's no longer about needing him to fulfill a void in your life. Instead, it's about him being drawn to the new version of you, the version that is whole, confident, and unafraid to stand in your own power. This shift creates a space where love can thrive, not because you're waiting for validation from him, but because you're already whole on your own. When you begin to change your internal landscape, you become the creator of your reality. The power to shape your relationships, the love you experience, and the energy that surrounds you all lie within you. The truth is, the moment you stop looking for validation from external sources and begin to validate yourself from within, the world around you shifts. This is why people, especially those who may have rejected you before, will come back into your life. They will see the growth, the inner strength, and the confidence you've cultivated, and they will be drawn to that energy. You don't need to chase love or try to prove your worth. The moment you understand that you are enough and worthy of all the love you desire, everything around you changes. When people come back, it's not about proving that you were right all along. It's about showing that you've grown, evolved, and are now in a space where you can attract the love and respect you deserve. The key is not focusing on whether they return or not, but on your own journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Have you ever looked at your life and wondered why things aren't going the way you envisioned? It can feel frustrating when you're constantly striving for happiness, success, or love, yet things don't seem to align. But what if the key to unlocking everything you desire is not about waiting for the world to change, but about changing how you view your own story? The truth is, you are the creator of your own story. The way you perceive your life, your experiences, and even your future shapes the reality you live in. Everything you've encountered, every challenge, every triumph, and every relationship is a reflection of the narrative you've written for yourself. The story you tell yourself is powerful. It's the lens through which you view the world, and it directly influences how you show up in life. If you see yourself as someone who is always struggling, always facing obstacles, or always feeling inadequate, then your life will reflect that. The thoughts and beliefs you hold about yourself and your place in the world shape your reality. You may not realize it, but every time you speak negatively about your life or your circumstances, you are reinforcing the belief that things will never change. But what if you could rewrite your story? What if you could choose a new narrative, one where you are empowered, confident, and deserving of all the greatness life has to offer? The power to transform your life lies in changing the story you tell yourself. You have the ability to shift your perspective and change the direction of your journey. The first step is recognizing that you are not a passive character in your own life. You are the author. Every choice you make, every belief you hold, and every action you take adds a new chapter to your story. If you've been living in a cycle of doubt, fear, or negativity, it's time to take control of the pen and write a new narrative, one that aligns with the future you truly desire. This shift begins with a change in your mindset. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances or a product of your past, start viewing yourself as someone who has the power to shape their future. You are not defined by the challenges you faced, but by how you choose to respond to them. Every setback, every failure, and every rejection is an opportunity to learn and grow. When you start to see yourself as someone who is capable of overcoming challenges and creating your own success, your life will begin to reflect that belief. You will start to attract opportunities, people, and experiences that align with your new narrative. But it's not just about thinking positively, it's about truly embodying the belief that you are the creator of your own story. When you step into this role, you begin to take responsibility for the direction your life is headed. You no longer wait for someone else to change or for external circumstances to improve. You understand that you have the power to create the life you want by changing the way you see yourself and the world around you. This shift in perspective empowers you to take inspired action toward your goals, knowing that you are the one steering the ship. When you take ownership of your story, you also begin to let go of limiting beliefs that have been holding you back. Many people carry around old stories of failure, rejection, or not being good enough. These stories become a heavy burden that weighs them down and keeps them stuck in a cycle of self-doubt. But when you recognize that these beliefs are not your truth, you free yourself from their grip. You begin to write a new story, one where you are strong, resilient, and capable of achieving everything you desire. This new narrative empowers you to move forward with confidence, knowing that you are in control of your destiny. The way you tell your story also influences the people you attract into your life. If you constantly view yourself as someone who is always struggling, you may find yourself attracting relationships or situations that reinforce that belief. On the other hand, when you begin to see yourself as someone who is worthy of love, success, and happiness, you will start to attract people who see you the same way. Your story becomes a magnet that draws the right opportunities and people into your life. By changing the way you see yourself, you begin to attract experiences that align with your new narrative. Creating your own story is a process that requires time, patience, and self-compassion. It's not about perfection, but about embracing the journey and recognizing that every chapter is an opportunity for growth. There will be challenges along the way, but these challenges are not meant to stop you. They are meant to teach you valuable lessons and push you toward becoming the person you are meant to be. When you view life as a series of opportunities for growth rather than a set of obstacles to overcome, you will begin to see the beauty in every moment. Have you ever felt a sudden shift in the energy around you, as if something unspoken was happening even though no words were exchanged? It's a familiar experience, one that reveals an undeniable truth about the world we live in. Our energy speaks louder than words, and it's constantly communicating with the universe. Whether we realize it or not, our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs emit an energy that radiates outward, influencing not only our own experiences but also how others perceive us. The way we feel inside, the beliefs we hold, and the way we think about ourselves are all reflected in the energy we project. And here's the thing: energy never lies. No matter how hard we try to hide or suppress our true feelings, our energy always tells the story of who we are. There are times when we may say one thing, but our energy speaks a completely different truth. You may find yourself smiling on the outside, but deep down you're carrying a weight of sadness or anger. You might try to convince others that everything is fine, but those around you can sense the tension or discomfort you're carrying. This disconnect between what we say and what our energy communicates can cause confusion and strain in our relationships. But the reality is, our energy is always authentic. It's the purest reflection of our inner world, regardless of what words come out of our mouths. This powerful truth is especially important when it comes to our relationships with others. People can often sense the energy we're emitting, even when they don't fully understand why. You may have encountered someone who, despite appearing outwardly calm, gave off a feeling of unease or tension. Or perhaps you've been in a situation where you instantly felt a strong, positive connection with someone without exchanging many words. This is the power of energy. It doesn't lie, and it doesn't need words to be understood. It speaks directly to the heart and soul, bypassing logic and reason, and communicates the true essence of who we are. Understanding the importance of energy is key to creating the life and relationships you desire. If you are constantly feeling negative or overwhelmed, your energy will reflect that, and it will influence the way others interact with you. Negative energy can repel opportunities, love, and joy, while positive energy can attract abundance and happiness. The energy you project into the world has the power to shape your experiences. If you want to change your life, you must first begin to change the energy you're sending out. One of the most powerful tools for changing your energy is to become aware of your inner thoughts and emotions. Every thought you have is charged with energy, and when you focus on negative or limiting beliefs, you are sending out energy that aligns with those thoughts. If you constantly think that you are not good enough, or that you will never find love or success, you are unknowingly reinforcing those beliefs through the energy you emit. This energy then attracts situations and people that align with those beliefs, creating a cycle of negativity. But when you shift your thoughts toward positivity, self-love, and empowerment, your energy begins to change. You start to radiate a more positive vibration, one that attracts the things you truly desire. It's important to remember that energy is not just about how we feel in any given moment, it's also about the intentions behind our actions. What are you hoping to attract into your life? What do you want to experience? When your intentions are aligned with your energy, you become a magnet for those very things. If your intention is to attract love, but you're holding on to feelings of unworthiness or fear, your energy will contradict that desire. However, when you truly believe you are worthy of love and that it is already on its way to you, your energy will begin to reflect that belief, and love will begin to flow naturally into your life. Similarly, energy never lies in the context of relationships. Whether you're dealing with romantic partnerships, friendships, or professional relationships, the energy you bring into the room speaks volumes. If you enter a room with confidence, kindness, and openness, people will naturally be drawn to you. Your energy will create a magnetic force that invites connection, trust, and positivity. On the other hand, if you walk into a room carrying feelings of insecurity or fear, your energy will subtly push people away. This is why self-awareness and self-love are so crucial. They allow you to cultivate the right energy that attracts the right people and experiences into your life. Another important aspect of energy is how it influences our actions. If you are emitting a positive, high vibrational energy, your actions will reflect that. You'll find yourself taking inspired steps toward your goals, feeling motivated and aligned with your highest self. Conversely, when your energy is low, stagnant, or filled with negativity, your actions will reflect that as well. You may procrastinate, feel overwhelmed, or even sabotage your own efforts. Your energy is the driving force behind your actions, so it's essential to make sure your energy is aligned with the life you want to create. Have you ever noticed how the people in your life often reflect what you feel about yourself? It's almost as if the universe responds directly to the energy you give off, and it shapes the way others treat you. If you've ever gone through a period of feeling rejected or neglected by someone, it's easy to feel as though they've made a decision about you, one that somehow defines your worth. But what if the way others act toward you is actually a direct reflection of your own internal beliefs, thoughts, and emotions? The truth is, your outer world is an echo of your inner world. How you feel about yourself, the stories you tell yourself, and the assumptions you hold deeply influence the dynamics of your relationships. When you feel rejected, it can leave you questioning your worth and wondering if there's something inherently wrong with you. But the real cause of rejection often lies not in who you are, but in the energy you are emitting. If you constantly feel like you're not good enough, that you need to prove your worth to others, or that love must be earned through external validation, those feelings are reflected back to you in the way others treat you. Rejection then becomes not just a personal blow, but a manifestation of the very beliefs you hold about yourself. It's not about you being unworthy, it's about the vibration you're sending out into the world. This is why healing starts from within. When you change your internal narrative and begin to see yourself as valuable, worthy, and deserving of love, the energy you radiate shifts. People begin to notice the change in you, even if they don't consciously understand it. The shift is subtle but powerful. Suddenly, the way people treat you starts to change. You stop chasing after love or seeking approval because you no longer feel the need to prove yourself. Instead, you become magnetic. You attract the kind of people who see your worth and appreciate you for exactly who you are. The relationships around you begin to mirror the love and respect you've cultivated for yourself. Your inner world is the filter through which you experience life. If you've been living with limiting beliefs or feelings of inadequacy, your reality will reflect that. You might attract relationships that feel unbalanced, where you're constantly seeking validation or approval from others. But when you begin to heal, release negative self-talk, and embrace self-compassion, you begin to see a dramatic shift in how people perceive and treat you. The energy you put out will always come back to you in some form. If you start to believe that you are worthy of love, kindness, and respect, you will start to attract those qualities from others as well. The way you view yourself sets the tone for how people will interact with you. If you see yourself as unworthy or undeserving, others will pick up on that energy, and it will affect how they treat you. But when you begin to affirm your worthiness, to stand firm in the knowledge that you are enough just as you are, you begin to change the way others perceive you. This shift in perception can be subtle at first, but as you continue to radiate confidence and self-love, people around you start to respond differently. You stop being a magnet for rejection, and instead you become a magnet for genuine love and meaningful connections. When someone comes back into your life after a period of rejection, it isn't always about them having changed, it's about you having changed. The version of you that they once rejected no longer exists. You have evolved into someone who no longer needs to chase love, but instead attracts it effortlessly. This change is not about manipulation or trying to control the outcome. It's about healing your inner wounds, letting go of old patterns, and stepping into the highest version of yourself. As you do this, the people who once distanced themselves from you may find themselves drawn back into your life, not because of anything you've done to win them over, but because your energy now aligns with the love and respect you've cultivated within. The key to transforming your relationships lies in transforming how you view yourself. If you continue to see yourself through the lens of self-doubt and insecurity, your reality will reflect that. But if you change your inner dialogue and start seeing yourself as worthy of all the love and happiness you desire, the world around you will start to shift. People will begin to treat you the way you treat yourself. This internal shift can be the key to healing old wounds and drawing back those who may have once rejected you. This isn't about trying to control others or manipulate situations to get what you want. It's about understanding that your internal state has the power to shape the world around you. When you feel confident in yourself, when you know that you deserve the best, you stop seeking validation from others. Instead, you allow them to come to you, drawn by the energy of self-assurance and authenticity that you now radiate. The people who rejected you may come back into your life not because they have changed, but because you have become someone they can now see themselves with. Your energy is different, and it's magnetic. Have you ever felt like someone pulled away from you only to wonder why or how it happened? You might have questioned yourself, your worth, or even your actions, trying to make sense of why the connection shifted. The truth is, the way relationships unfold is deeply connected to your beliefs, assumptions, and the energy you put out into the world. Your inner world, the way you perceive yourself and others, plays a critical role in shaping the dynamics of the relationships you attract and maintain. If you have ever felt rejected, confused, or unappreciated, It may not be as much about the other person as it is about the assumptions and beliefs you hold about yourself, love, and relationships. The way you perceive yourself and what you believe you deserve is directly linked to the way others will treat you. If you harbor negative beliefs about love, whether that means thinking you're not worthy of being loved or that relationships are meant to be difficult, those assumptions often play out in your interactions. For instance, if you believe that people will leave you or that you can never truly find someone who values you, those beliefs may unconsciously guide your actions, making it harder for you to experience genuine connections. People will pick up on these subtle cues and their behavior will often mirror your internal assumptions. On the other hand, when you start to shift those internal beliefs and assumptions, you begin to see the world around you change. The moment you start to assume that you are worthy of love, respect, and healthy relationships, the energy you put out changes. You stop seeking validation from others and instead embody a sense of self-assurance and confidence. This shift doesn't just happen on the surface level, it changes the way people perceive you and interact with you. The way you feel about yourself determines how others will respond to you. If you believe that you are deserving of love and companionship, you naturally attract those who resonate with that energy. When you assume the best possible outcome for your relationships, the universe responds in kind. By adopting the belief that love comes easily to you and that your connections with others are harmonious, you begin to attract those who will treat you with the love and respect you've come to expect. This process doesn't require manipulation or forcing anything. It simply requires you to assume that what you want in a relationship is already on its way. When you start to feel deserving of the best, you no longer need to chase after love or seek approval. You become magnetic, drawing the right people toward you without effort. In relationships, assumptions are everything. If you assume someone doesn't care about you or that they will eventually leave, you're likely to start acting in ways that reinforce that belief. You might become anxious, distant, or withdrawn, sending signals that align with your fears rather than your desires. These actions create a self-fulfilling prophecy, reinforcing the negative assumptions that you've been holding. However, when you shift your assumptions and truly believe that the love you desire is already yours, your actions will reflect that newfound confidence. You'll stop feeling anxious or insecure, and instead you'll approach relationships with a calm, peaceful confidence that attracts the right people who align with your energy. The way others respond to you is a direct reflection of the energy you're emitting. If you constantly worry about being abandoned or not being good enough, that fear will push people away even if it's subconscious. On the other hand, when you assume that you are worthy of love and that your relationships can be joyful and fulfilling, people start to respond in a way that aligns with those beliefs. It's as if the universe is reflecting back the energy you're sending out, and that energy is rooted in the assumptions you've made about love and yourself. This is why it can feel so transformative when you begin to embrace the idea that you are deserving of healthy, loving relationships. It's not about changing others or forcing things to happen. It's about changing your internal assumptions and beliefs and watching how the world around you begins to shift. When you stop questioning your worth and start assuming that love and connection are naturally meant for you, the people around you begin to treat you with the respect and love you have always desired. It's a powerful process that is driven by the law of assumption, the idea that what you assume to be true becomes your reality. As you align your assumptions with the belief that you are worthy of love, care, and happiness, you stop focusing on what you can do to get someone to love you, and instead focus on embodying the person who already feels loved, cherished, and valued. This shift in energy will inevitably transform your relationships, attracting people who are aligned with this new version of yourself. It's not about playing games or trying to manipulate someone's feelings, it's about changing the story you've been telling yourself about love. When you believe you are deserving of the best, that belief will naturally shape your experiences and interactions.